press cross button.
Ring, ring, you're it. Come on.
Let's get on then.
This is London Calling. You're here with me, Tash, the Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. In today's world, we've all had to get used to every move being tracked by the optic on our temples, by the cameras around us, and with every click we make online. It seems like everything we do feeds the big data beast. Why are data giants like Bloom so hungry to get hold of our private information and our metadata? What are they using it for? Will we ever have real private lives again? What is privacy in the digital world? And what happens when capitalism and faith become one? As you know, speaking from a secure location, here's new technology strategist Charles, who worked all over the world trying to keep democracy strong in the face of the data assault.
If you have enough personal data on somebody, you're able to predict what it is that they're going to do. You can tell what they might be passionate about, but mostly you can tell what they fear. And if you can tell what someone fears, then you can manipulate them and you can move them in particular directions. Data is collected on citizens in every possible way. Data is collected through surveillance cameras. Data is collected from television sets. They don't even necessarily need to be super smart television sets. Data is collected from voter records.
I'm off to ruin this Templar's day. Be right back.
Think you're hard?
Need some cover!
Taking fire! What do I do? Cover me!
I suppose we've made an impression. There's the Templar.
Will the assassins take me back, with or without you? I don't know. Possibly. I just know I can't leave London without you. I don't want to, so I'll keep looking for you. Hopefully you find these messages and come to your senses and find me. We just need to leave before we get into real trouble.
You showed that Templar who's in charge around here. It's us. We're in charge. I'm impressed. That wasn't a total disaster.
nation is basically just encapsulated by the
leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does. It's just a myth. But that's what they go for. And on that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to. Hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and the state operating in tandem, basically molded into one. But that isn't that rare. It's exactly the same thing in Nazi Germany. You look at the concentration camps that operated in Nazi Germany. There were private companies in those camps making use of that slave labor. Fascism
often works with corporations, and it's doing the same now. That's the way in which they track what you do. That's the way in which
they track who you talk to. They operate as each other's proxies.
Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic media in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
We're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of concentration on data, how that's been used and manipulated. And what we haven't looked at is power structures and profit that lies behind them. For example, examine what actually...
With a person, a bit of a credit card that's predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending, and this can have profound impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviours, and this can be as trivial as if you jaywalk, if you cross the road in the wrong place, you might lose points. If you do some community activities or help your neighbours, you might earn points, and then this can be used to sort of evaluate you as a person. And this could mean, for example, better travel privileges, being able to travel first class, or being denied from travelling first class to not being allowed to travel at all. These systems are very real and growing because of all the data that is now helping us.
So if your ears are burning and you think someone might be watching you, you're probably right. They're watching all of us. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Buccaneer. Keep listening, keep sharing the show, and keep it encrypted. They're watching us, but we're watching it too.
Welcome back to The Upload. Today we're talking about cryptocurrency. Crypto now seems like it's been around forever, but it's really quite a new invention. Were you an early adopter?
I was one of the first that was in this market. There seemed to be a new way of financial transactions, a new way of money. It's something that we could completely reinvent and change some of the legacy financial systems around the world and really give power back to the people.
Yeah, it was a real shift in the way that the world works. Let's recap the basics. So, central to cryptocurrency is the distributed ledger technology, the tech that keeps track of all transactions. And what this means is you can have a decentralized system without having to trust any one party, like old-fashioned banks.
One of the reasons why I got involved so early was that you could stay anonymous.
Yeah, the features of cryptocurrency very much fit into that mindset.
Right. Do you know? Calm down, okay? You're making a scene. Is it corporate?
Rest and respite. What's going on here?
How should I say this? I seem to have come across some sort of ancient conflict. The recording you heard came from a strange drone flying around the city. The names of the groups in conflict are obvious enough. Assassins and Templars. But there is no record of either of them online, not even in the furthest fringes of the dark web. So, either these are LARPers with very active imaginations, or we are dealing with two groups that are older and more powerful than we can possibly imagine.
Better suss this out.
Good idea. Connie's been helping analyse the data I pulled from the drone. I'm sure she's champing at the bit to tell you more.
Right, thanks. I'm listening.
I've been following up on the few clues we got from that recording. Assassins, Templars, this Lucas fella, and the strange drone we got the recording from. Not much to find on the first three, but that drone, it's a doozy.
What do you mean?
It wasn't made by any of the big weapons manufacturers. It's got no serial number, no identifying tags of any kind. I found a proxy to its schematics, and the design is mental. I also found enough GPS to put together a flight path. Whatever's going on here, it's big. You better find that thing.
Agreed.
Thanks for checking in, Chief. I've been sort of torn up lately. An old friend of mine got jumped the other night. I want to go visit him, but... well, you know.
That's dreadful.
Yeah, it was a pack of fuckers from EPAF. They knew my mate ain't from here. They kept yelling, England first, as they kicked the shit out of him.
How can we help?
I don't know.
Poor bastard.
It's a classic paradox. The shittier a society gets, the less willing everyone is to share it. There's been a spike in anti-immigrant violence lately, perpetrated by organised groups like the EPAF.
Fucking hell, Bagley. Is this going somewhere?
The EPAF, or English Patriotic Action Front, appears to be unusually well funded and organised. They could be connected to some larger criminal enterprise.
Better suss this out.
Oh, mate, this is massive. I never thought we'd get this kind of reach.
What do you mean?
It's fucking Stormzy. You know, Bossy Bob. Shut up. Bloody Glastonbury. The man sent us a message and he's asking for DedSec by name. We're in the big times now, mate. We got us a fucking high-profile contract right here.
Brilliant.
I'll send you the message. And for the love of fucking God, do not cock this up.
What's good, DedSec? Here's the word, yeah? Sir's been after me for ages. Blocking my channels, shutting down every stream I open, and closing my fucking bank accounts. I made my career calling out those in power, and now they want to stop me. I got this new track, it's crazy, and I'm gonna lay it down right here, then we're sending it out worldwide, bigger than anything you've ever seen. But I need your help. Sirs know we're here. They killed our connection to the servers outside, and no servers means no show, and everyone needs to see what they're doing to us in London. Treating us like savages, like cannon fodder. Fuck that. Let's do this together.
Fuck! We've got movement back here!
Shit. Alright, let's roll.
You heard Mr. Ormsey. DedSec has a role to play in this. Now backdoor Albion's servers and let's get this illegal show on the road.
What is going on?
I passed through Camden recently. Not so aggressive.
Okay, but... No, you sure? All right, I hear you.
Really fit into its original, radical, counterculture mold.
Yeah, it's kind of weird today to think of people not using cryptocurrency. It's so mainstream now. You know, I'm almost nostalgic for the feel of cash. Good old-fashioned paper and coin. First I changed the paper notes to plastic notes, and now it's just all digital. There's nothing to hold on to.
It was great just to be able to have a little bit of money to carry around with.
I think the turning point in the UK really came a few years ago when the pound dropped 10% over just one season. People living off grid started using crypto, and just as everyone was losing faith in the pound, they were gaining it in cryptocurrency, which turned out to be much more stable. That's what people thought in the beginning.
And then, of course, there was the recession. It didn't take long for startups to see an opportunity in this new way of doing finance. A lot of traditional money was converted to crypto, and it really shook up the financial sector.
Can you remember when they first introduced crypto cash points?
That was really sneaky. It was a classic startup behaviour. They just installed them everywhere. No consultation with the government, no approval or anything. But people immediately started to use them.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of how Blue put out the Optic. They just made it free and flooded the streets with these devices. Suddenly, everyone had them.
If there's this great option of tech, people are just going to start using it, no matter the cost.
Parliament actually tried to put a stop to the cash points, but people were using them so much already. There was outrage. I mean, some parts of London were already using crypto as their primary currency by then.
And now, apparently, or at least in theory,
This is Kennington Park. Local news reports indicate it has been occupied by a group of violent xenophobes calling themselves the English Patriotic Action Front. Interesting email on here. It seems the EPAF answers to someone calling themselves Kingfisher, who is pushing them to attack immigrants.
Intriguing. What else you got?
The laptop's GPS indicates a location where Kingfisher regularly meets with at least one EPAF member. I doubt they go there to swap football stickers or pick each other's hooves.
Good place to start. We're bound to find something there.
Pushing the coordinates now.
She obviously despises humanity in some ways. I think she believes that becoming data is preferable to being human. She's one of these people who's extremely methodical in everything that she does, and she does everything to perfection and really tries to change the world around her and make it a better place for us to live in.
If you say so.
Every year, more than 80,000 construction workers in England suffer from a work-related injury. More than 25% of all work-related fatalities happen in the building industry.
The Bar. Objective voice of objection for a most objectionable world. Hello, Bugsters. Welcome to The Bug, the comedy show that holds up the Medusa of Saturn to the already immovably concrete face of modern Britain. I'm Andy, I bench 480, and I can crack a tree in half just by looking at it. Can I? Well, boys, reality anymore. Anyway. Alice, what do you bench?
I bench body weights. Well, not my body weight.
Okay.
Body weight of a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to give that kind of detail.
It's very impressive. People look at me and go, where did you get that baby?
Yeah. You are listening to The Bar.
In this week's Truth News, according to an official poll, 98% of Londoners are very happy with CTOS. And I am not sure that I agree with this, Andy. I don't think 98% of Londoners have ever in the history of London ever agreed on anything. You could not get 98% of Londoners to agree that oxygen was better than breathing a fog of raw liquid feces. And they expect us to believe that everyone agrees CTOS is better than not choking on shit mist.
I mean, maybe they just meant 98% of one specific Londoner who bought shares in Bloom before its tentacles grew into every crevice of the country. I mean, this is not just any old poll, we should say that. This is not any poll. This is an official poll, right from the very heart of government. It's not a knock-off fake poll of an elderly couple and a mangy old dog sitting on a bench waiting to die. This is an official poll. So let's just put those words, official poll, through an online translator in case you didn't study languages. Let's find out what it actually means. Made up lie. There we go. I don't think these official polls, they feed us, Alice. I mean, they could publish an official poll saying that over 99.9% of children like ice cream, and I would instantly assume that all children now hate all ice cream and would prefer to eat a bucket of gravel mixed with dead badger. They could publish an official poll saying that 10 out of 10 cats prefer cat food to being whacked with a tennis racket, and I would assume that all cats have gone vegan and were queuing up outside Wimbledon meowing, choose me, choose me.
I trust these polls as much as I trust someone recommending a movie that they watched during a breakup. Your judgment is impaired, Sally. I'll make my own decisions.
I trust those polls as much as I would trust Mary Kelly if she came up to me and said, "Congratulations, Andy, you've just won a free holiday to the south of France in the back of this windowless van."
I think official polls are like the unsolicited dick pics that the government provides us. I didn't ask for it, I don't believe it, it's on an angle, you've artificially played it ahead of time, and anyone that falls for one deserves all the disappointment of trying to match it to reality. These polls are absolute rubbish, Andy. I read one the other day that said the plumbing in London was good, and it absolutely is not. I mean, well, we have this technology now where they can spy on my every bowel movement. There's a CCTV camera installed inside my underwear drawer, and media donors staring.
This is where an EPAF organiser had his regular meetings with Kingfisher, who seems to be pulling the EPAF's strings.
Why do we have to meet in a police station? Makes me feel edgy.
It's good cover. If anyone sees you, they'll assume the old Bill picked you up.
Just weird to be sitting here without the old bracelets is all. So what have you got for us?
Names. It's a list of people in this neighborhood that Filament tells us will be prone to violence if provoked.
You want us to start some fights?
The bloodier the better. We want some nice, scary ultra-violence for Gran and Grandad on the evening news. Is that a problem?
How do we know this won't come back on me and mine?
Sirs wants the same thing you want. Everyone out of the Oval and the immigrant crisis resolved. You'd be doing a public service.
Ha! A public servant. Who'd have thought, eh?
Multiple files added to the data drive. And would you look at that? Kingfisher is an SIRS officer, so they're the ones funding the EPAF.
Fuck me, Sirs is behind this.
It's all here in the audio file, or you could just ask Kingfisher himself. The Met are lending him an office in this very police station.
Wait, what did you just say? Why?
Maybe it cuts down on his commute. How should I know? Find him and take him out so we can put an end to this EPAF business. Kingfisher is down. That should make it harder for those xenophobic goons to get their intolerant hands on military weaponry at the very least. Wish the same could be said for Albion. On a related note, you should probably scarf her. The powers that be are trying to provoke immigrant violence to justify coming down on them like a ton of pricks.
Bright ideas, anyone?
I've asked Malik for his analysis.
The Surface will bury it if you release that recording to the media, so you'll have to self-distribute. SIR's protocol says to do two things. Sow disinformation on the internet and distance themselves from the incident. Propaganda works. So no one will know what's true, and by the time the dust settles, anyone who could incriminate them will be gone.
Let's rock.
Agreed.
Done.
We started having significant material problems. I think Britain always told itself it had this national myth, right, that it would, because it got through the war, that it could go through any kind of hardship. I mean, that wasn't really the case. People during the war were far more frightened than some of the historical stuff.
The ongoing protest against illegal immigration in Kennington Park has dispersed today, following rumours of turmoil amongst the protesters. SIRS confirms several of the protest's organisers have been arrested on outstanding warrants.
Here's underground writer and analyst Alfie, the politics prodigy.